Welcome to the Darkstream. Voxday, voxday.blogspot.com, and of course, Arkhaven Comics. So, I have an announcement to make, but I'm going to wait a little while for the Comics gatekeepers to show up, because I think this is something that they're going to want to hear. And I'm also going to address why I was unable to participate in the proposed Killstream debate. Sorry to let Ethan Ralph down, but unfortunately it was necessary. So anyhow, it's fine. It's fine if you guys want to, do your little spamming thing, but you might want to hold off. You might want to hold off just because I have both an announcement and a question for you. So, can you please do some longer form comics like they do in Japan? Well, we are doing them. I guess they're Gun Goal is 116 pages. No, we're not talking about spin. We're not talking about spinning anything. I'm going to offer you genuine input. Okay? Look, I understand a lot of you think that you have a grasp on who I am or how I work, but if you bother to ask any of the people that follow me regularly, any of the people who support my stuff, what you'll find is that I'm actually very interested and responsive to people's opinions when it doesn't get in the way of what I'm doing, and it doesn't. So, well, there's only 60. Somebody said, "Hurry up with your announcement for the chat explodes." No, but the exact form of the announcement is, to a certain extent, I need some of the input from these guys from these ComicsGate guys in order to dictate what the form of the announcement is. And so, like I said, this is a genuine question, a genuine point. And so, yeah, you're not getting the chair. Okay, here we're definitely getting a few of those folks. That's good. Anyhow, let's see here. Yep, now we're coming in. That's good. Okay, so here is the question. If you guys can hold off the spamming for a second, I have a genuine question for you. Do you want us to release the ComicsGate imprint? Okay, we have one answer. It's kind of funny. Yes, yes, please. No, yes. Okay. Clarify. The only claim that we have that matters to ComicsGate is that we controlled the ComicsGate imprint. Do you want it or not? Do you want me to release it or not? It's kind of interesting. These guys profess to be so upset about this stuff, and yet they're not even interested in addressing a direct. Okay, more and more of them are starting to actually Look, Chris, you're saying cease and desist. Cease and desist what? We have done one thing that indicates control. No, you don't. Someone said, not yours to release. You don't understand. We literally, no. Oh my gosh. You guys are not update. You guys don't understand what's going on. You have to, it's like watching monkeys hitting a typewriter. They don't understand what they're talking about. Look, you're not understanding. We literally control the imprint. Okay? If you go on and try to publish something, you will not be able to do it because we have control over that. Okay? Okay. Let me then go ahead and make the announcement. We've done exactly what you asked for. We have released the ComicsGate imprint. The ComicsGate imprint is now open. Anyone can take it. The CyberFrog imprint is also open. Anyone can take it. As long as you have access to the publishing system, you can take unique control of it. So now let me explain what my whole original purpose was. See, these guys are those of you who are following this because you're followers of me or fans of me. I'll explain it to you because these guys have no idea what they're talking about. Here's what happened back in about 2 years ago. You see these 3 books here? These were actually at one point in time, ironically enough, the iCrew knows what's going on. Yeah, see, you don't understand what just happened, folks. Anyhow, this is a chart of the 3 top bestsellers from. Oh, did I have that on the whole time? Sorry about that. These are the 3 bestsellers in political philosophy back in 2015. And what you'll notice is they all look kind of similar. See, I published a book called SJWs Always Lie. It was a bestseller. And then John Scalzi, who was not a big fan of mine, and these guys keep going on, you don't own a copyright or trademark. We're not talking about the copyrights or trademarks, you morons. You just have no idea. So anyhow, what happened was we published this book, and then the SJWs actually published this other book in an attempt to drive it off the charts. So then some fans of mine published another image. It was called John Scalzi is Not a Very Popular Author, and I myself am quite popular. So then some other folks published a second book that was that mocked that one. It was called John Scalzi is a Rapist. Had a massively long subtitle. So anyhow, so that was the initial thing, and that really didn't do anything to negatively affect our books, but it actually turned into a very big deal inside Amazon because John Scalzi was very upset about the fact that there was a book called John Scalzi is a Rapist. So anyhow, what we did in response, which turned out to be a little bit too effective for our own good, is that we arranged to publish a book. If you notice the dates, what you'll see is that we published a very, very similar book to the one that John Scalzi was about to publish. Now, as you can see by the number of reviews, this was some seriously monkey wrenching. It caused a lot of problems and turned out to be a pretty major issue. It was actually a bit much. We haven't done anything like that since, and we've been told that we shouldn't. If you notice, it screwed up the system so completely that people that were looking to look for the John Scalzi books ended up getting the book that we had released. So what you guys don't understand is that it is possible, when you have access to the publishing system, which we do, to take control over these things. Okay? And so what I did was attempt to prevent ComicsGate from being blocked within the system by SJWs. So if anyone from DC or Marvel is watching this, ComicsGate is open, Cyberfrog is open. Any of those ComicsGate related names are completely open in the system. I'm not going to protect them anymore. We have, what people don't realize is that we actually had protected the imprints of a number of different titles that we considered to be liable to SJW interference. And so, it's possible that they're not going to do anything like this. But the thing is that we have had over 25 different attempts by SJWs to interfere with the sales of our books and our comics within the system. For example, we had one book on Amazon that we just couldn't get published. We would publish it, and then suddenly the book will get unpublished. And this happened repeatedly. It happened like 5 or 6 times. And so I called the manager at Amazon, had to get it kicked upstairs. And finally, they didn't believe us at first. We said, look, we've got a rogue employee who is unpublishing this book. And so we ended up waiting. We set up a trap. And then sure enough, we published it, and they immediately unpublished it. And the manager saw that they were unpublishing it faster than they could possibly have reviewed it. And they also noticed that the excuse given for doing so was exactly the same thing. And so we found out that they didn't, they promised us that would never happen again, and it hasn't happened again. And so, we ended up, successfully dealing with that attempted SJW monkey wrenching. And so, but like I said, you do not own anything. You cannot open Cyberfrog. You don't understand how this stuff works. It has nothing to do with ownership. It has nothing to do with trademark. It has nothing to do with copyright. It has to do with the way that the Amazon system works. Okay? If you control how the books are moved throughout the system, then you can get in the way. Now, here's the thing. Is that legal? No, of course not. But you can't even see who interfered with you. You have no way of knowing or identifying who did it. And even if you can identify who did it, you can't identify the person, you can only identify the company at most. And so you're going to have to, I mean, like somebody said, Vox owns your keywords. It is essentially what we're talking about. We're basically talking about keywords within the system. Somebody says, we are not going through Amazon. It's not just Amazon. It is the entire retail network. Okay? All of Marvel's stuff is in this system. All of DC's stuff, all of IDW's stuff, all of this stuff is in the system except for the single issue floppies because they're too cheap. Okay? So what I'm telling you is that you're on your own now. That's fine. Okay? That's fine. And so, maybe you won't have a problem. Maybe the SJWs like you enough that they'll leave you alone. But in our experience, that doesn't happen. Okay? And so, it's a very, you're missing the point. If somebody says, hey, genius, Cyberfrog is a registered trademark. Yes, I know that. That doesn't matter. There is nothing in the system that causes a series of characters to be rejected because it is a registered trademark somewhere. Anyone can do this. I can do it, and so can anyone who has access to the system. Now, obviously, DC and Marvel are not going to do this, but we have run into literally dozens, more than 24 rogue SJWs who have used their access to Twitter, to Amazon, to Google. What was the other one? Anyhow, we have repeatedly run into SJWs at tech companies using their access to interfere with people they don't like. Okay? If I wanted to block Cyberfrog, I could do it like that. But here's the thing. So can any SJW with access to the system. And Ethan won't know about it until he tries to get into the system, until he tries to get his books into the system. No, I haven't touched it. I'm not interested in that. And I'm not interested in ComicsGate. You guys have made it very, very clear. Now Vox is singing a completely different tune about some system only he knows about. No, this is exactly what I talked to Ethan about. Ethan knows about this. I mean, you guys have no idea whatsoever how the retail system works. Okay? And so, that was my motivation. That was why I did it. And now I have withdrawn that block from the system. Cyberfrog is open. ComicsGate is open. It's all completely open. And so, perhaps someone says, Vox Day isn't the owner. EVS has lawyers. It doesn't have anything to do with ownership. This is an IT and retail question. All right? So, Anyhow, if anyone could have blocked Cyberfrog, what? No, you're not understanding. If anyone could have blocked Cyberfrog, he wouldn't have made $500,000. What are you talking about? I'm talking about if anyone wants to sell anything in the retail system that all the other comics people use. Okay? There are two places that these things are done. One of them is Diamond. One of them is the other one that we use. And so, so I can just block Spider-Man now. Well, no, you can't, because that's already been utilized. For example, if you go onto the system, you'll see that there is an imprint called Vertigo. Okay? Vertigo is blocked. Vertigo is taken. Vertigo is used. So is DC Comics. So is Detective Comics. All right? And so, no, I'm not going to go on Ethan's stream and talk to him. I will not talk to Ethan at all. You don't, I mean, you guys like to talk about lawyers. Ethan is threatening us with lawsuits. We're not going to talk to him. We're not going to have anything to do with him. Why would we? This is like explaining calculus to a cricket. If you weren't so pushy with this, we might have accepted. Fine, it doesn't matter. Like I said, I have an announcement. I already did it. It's already open. And if someone takes it, it's not my problem anymore. You guys can deal with the consequences. And it's not a what's the name of the system? Back your accusations. Anyhow, that's all I've got for tonight. So anyhow, good luck with that. If you're fortunate, then maybe the SJWs won't mess with you. Good luck with that. Have a good evening, and we'll see you at the next Dark.